in their country on July 4th, just like Toronto, is always allowed to play home in their country on July 1st.
All right, Martin, thanks for the call.
They got to get another Canada team at that point.
Thanks for the call, pal. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. I give Martin, you, Eric, and you, Eleanor, a ton of credit for letting me vent. You guys knew I was dying.
No, I know.
And today, you laid low. I give you both a ton of credit.
It's just weird for me. Like, it's crazy. I never thought about jumping ship ever, but my coworker asked me, what are you going to do now? I'm like, what do you mean?
I'm thinking of it. I'm not going to lie to you.
And
I'm not going to do it, but I'm thinking about it.
And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, aren't you going to root for the Blues now? I'm like, no. I'm still an Islander fan. I'm embarrassed by how the fans are acting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It is right now, but this team's going to go on. John Tavares is a Maple Leaf. That's it. That's all
and he's going to win a Stanley Cup there.
Look, and you know what? I don't know how I would feel. I really don't know how I would feel if Toronto won the Stanley Cup. I really don't.
The one thing I'll say is, because I really want to move on, a lot of hockey to get to and not a lot of time, the one thing I'll say is trying to replace him with Hickey, Komarov, Filppula, Matt Martin, maybe Erik Karlsson, it's a bunch of nonsense. This is why Lamoriello was the wrong guy for the job. The Islanders would have been better off going with a younger GM for another rebuild.
Like a Kyle Dubas type.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have been happy with Mark Hunter. I really would have. You're listening to Beyond the Game on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We are live twice a week, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 3 p.m. I am Jacob Valk, and I'm about to have a stroke.
You okay?
I'll live. Sitting across from me, Eric Fischetti and the True Hockey Maven, Eleanor Ciampi. Number to call if you have something on your mind, or to win a pair of Long Island Duck tickets on Tuesday, July 17th at 6:35 p.m. at Bethpage Ballpark against the New Britain Bees is 516-572-7440. We spent enough time on the Islanders. We got to move on. Eleanor, I'll put the question to you. What team do you want to talk about the most?
That's a good one.
I'll talk about the Ryan O'Reilly trade.
The Ryan O'Reilly trade.
All right,
okay.
Good choice.
The Blues traded Patrick Berglund, Vladimir Sobotka, Tage Thompson, their first-round pick this year, and their second-round pick in 2021 to the Sabres for Ryan O'Reilly. Last year, Berglund had 26 points in 57 games. Sobotka had 31 points in 81 games. Thompson had 9 points in 41 games. And O'Reilly had 61 points in 81 games. Who do you think won the trade?
Can I jump in really quick? Can I just jump in really
Sure.
quick? First off, the Blues now have a really good depth at center, specifically.
They are a definite playoff team.
Berglund and Sobotka, to me, were salary dumps. Tage Thompson is really a nobody, to be honest with you.
I like him.
Well, you know, he hasn't shown me anything. Granted, I don't see them, but from what I see...
The one thing I'll say is Buffalo, and Eleanor, you will agree with me on this, they have a tremendous young core.
Yes,
with
they
him, Eichel, Dalen, Reinhart.
Yes.
I like Buffalo's future, but go ahead.
I think the Blues won this trade, but I do think that the Blues gave up a lot.
They did.
I really do. I love Tage Thompson. He is a product of the USA National Team Development Program. He played college hockey in Connecticut. I really do like him, and he played on those World Junior teams, and he won the gold medal with Team USA. So he's going to be really good. That's a great acquisition for the Buffalo Sabres. And you look at Ryan O'Reilly, he had 61 points on a horrible Buffalo Sabres team.
Yep.
Besides Jack Eichel, I think he was the best player on Buffalo. He's great. He's a great face-off winner. He's really, really good. He's just a great center, and he's really good on the power play, and the Blues power play really struggled this past season. It was one of the worst in the entire NHL, so I really think he'll help him on the power play.
Yeah, I love this move for the Blues. I know they gave up a lot in terms of Thompson and the 2 picks, but Berglund and Sobotka were nothings to me.
Yeah.
They weren't. They did nothing.
Yeah, I was not upset to see them leave from a Blues perspective at all.
I mean, they were good depth players, but it's good for Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I like the trade for the Blues more, but I understand why the Sabres did it. They have an incredibly bright future.
And with they get Berglund, who's a veteran.
Yeah.
And Buffalo's a young team, so you need those guys.
You need veteran leadership. There's no question about that.
And also, St. Louis didn't have to give up 2 of their top prospects either to get O'Reilly.
Yeah, they didn't give up Kyrou or Thomas.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Blues, they signed David Perron and Tyler Bozak to a 4-year deal worth $16 million and a 3-year deal worth $15 million, respectively. Last year, Perron had 66 points in 70 games for the Golden Knights, and Bozak had 43 points in 81 games for the Maple Leafs. What do you think of the deals?
Perron can't stay away from St. Louis.
I know.
This is his 3rd stint.
Yeah,
with
and he's
the Blues.
a fan favorite there. The fans love him
Perron.
there. I like Perron a lot. He was a Penguin for a little bit, and I loved him on the Penguins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was a Penguin. With that, they had a weird team at one point, like Blake Cuomo and all that.
Islander Blake Cuomo.
Yeah. But David Perron, he's a solid player. I don't think he'll have as good of a season as he did last season with the Golden Knights, just because of the team that they were and what they were trying to prove. And Tyler Bozak is a great third-line center. He can put up points, so I think it's both really good deals.
They did make up for losing Stastny.
Yes,
they made a big time.
That's how you replace an elite player, Lou. Not filling them in with 3rd and 4th liners.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
And they're not paying a ton of money for them either.
No, definitely not. I love what the Blues are doing.
Yes.
Blues are a definite playoff team next year.
Yeah, 100%.
There's not even a doubt in my mind.
And I always feel like the Blues are my favorite Western Conference team. If I had to pick, I do like the Blues. I think they're a very likable team. And I feel like they're always right on the edge of being great. I feel like they have so much potential.
I don't know if Mike Yao is the right coach for them.
No, I don't like him, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about him.
Again, that's just a matter of another bad breakup. Hitchcock was there. The Blues were basically in purgatory, where they were basically at 500. They decided to make a change. Mike Yao gave the Blues a fire underneath them, and they did pretty good. Again, they didn't really do much. They ran into the Predators in the playoffs. But, he's not my favorite. He really isn't. But, look, if you have good players around you, then you're fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, Eric, what hockey story do you want to talk about? We'll do it this way. I know we talked about the Blues. They're your Western Conference team. What team do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights, good choice. Re-signed Ryan Reeves to a 2-year deal worth $5.55 million and signed Paul Stastny and Nick Holden to a 3-year deal worth $19.5 million and a 2-year deal worth $4.4 million, respectively. Last year, Reeves had 10 points in 94 penalty minutes in 79 games. Stastny had 53 points in 82 games for the Blues and Jets. And Holden had 17 points in 73 games for the Rangers and Bruins. What do you think of the deals?
Well, let me just say this. I think that Vegas got a very good player in Paul Stastny, veteran presence.
I thought Tavares was going to go there, to be honest with you.
Okay, can I ask you a question, being that we're back on Tavares? Where would you have rather seen him go if it wasn't the Islanders?
Vegas.
Vegas, not San Jose, not Toronto?
I thought Vegas was the best fit for him because he'd have been the captain right away. He would bring more people in. He'd give them more coverage.
More fans?
More fans, yeah. I thought Vegas was the right place for him. Not Toronto. I will say that. I understand the appeal of playing for the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs are the New York Yankees of the NHL. Not in the sense of their success because they haven't won a championship in over 50 years, but in popularity. Maple Leafs are the most popular team in the NHL, and there's an appeal to playing for him. I get it, but Vegas would have been a better fit for him. I like what Vegas did in signing Stastny and Holden. I thought those were great moves for him. And I'm sorry, Eleanor, just really fast. Ryan Reeves, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't like him. Overpay for sure. Go ahead, Eleanor.
See, I love Ryan Reeves. I am a big Ryan Reeves fan. I think every team needs a Ryan Reeves player, and he can score. I mean, you don't expect him. I know, but you don't expect him to be. Comes through in the big games. Obviously, he had a couple goals in the playoffs, and he hits. He is an agitator. He'll stand up for anyone. And
he knows his role. I'll give him that.
He's an enforcer that can score.
Yeah, and Paul Stastny is a great, well-rounded center. And you look at the Golden Knights, and they have really, really good center depth. They have eight players who can play center. So that's awesome. That's what you need on a winning team. Yeah.
The future is bright in Vegas,
and
I will
Paul
say
Stastny,
that.
Because the Vegas' second line is depleted now. They lost Perron and Neal, and Eric Howell is the only one left. So Paul Stastny will come in.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Miss Eleanor?
Glass maybe too.
All right, so Miss Eleanor, how do you think Vegas will fare after losing James Neal?
I do think that it was a big loss. Again, I'm a big James Neal fan, the real deal James Neal. He was a Penguin, obviously. Yep. He was a great Penguin, so I do like James Neal a lot. I do think that it'll hurt them, but I don't think it'll be horrible.
It's not the end of the world.
No, I don't
because
think
they made up for it.
I don't think Vegas will be as good as they were this past season, but I don't think they'll be bad either.
No, I agree with you 100%. And breaking basketball news, Dwight Howard has signed with the Washington Wizards.
Good move.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, because they traded Gortat, so...
I thought Howard would do well on the Nets, but I understand why he was bought out.
I thought he was going to go to Golden State.
Me too, but they signed Boogie. We got about 90 seconds left. It's time for the bottom of the ninth. Eric, we'll start with you.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I still love the New York Islanders. They're still my hockey team, but at least
I'm not jumping ship.
But at least I have the St. Louis Blues to fall back on. You know, the Knicks are going to be terrible, but hey, at least I have the Yankees right now and the Giants next season.
I'm just going to focus on the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, wait, they're going to be lousy next year. I guess I'll just focus on the Jets. Well, they'll be lousy too. I don't know what I'm going to do in the winter.
Fantasy.
I'm going to hibernate like a bear, Eleanor.
Matt Cullen is coming back to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I could not be happier. He won 2 Stanley Cups with the Penguins in 2016 and 2017. And he left last season for the Minnesota Wild, but the Penguins did re-sign him for next season, and I could not be happier. I love Matt Cullen, and I think he's awesome.
So Mike Heidemann passed away on Saturday at the age of 70 from cancer. The guy was head coach at the University of Wisconsin in Green Bay for 7 years and was a very good coach for them. He wasn't Dick Barrett by any stretch, but Heidemann was a good coach for him and will be deeply missed. All right, we'll end a little bit early today. Nah, that's all right. I need to go to the hospital anyway and get my blood pressure checked. The Soul of Halas with my pal Teddy Savalas is coming up next. He will tell you all you need to know about Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Youkilis, and Al Campanis. For Eric Fischetti and the True Hockey Maven, to hell with that other guy. Can't say that enough, Eleanor Ciampi. I am Jacob Valk saying, inherit the wind.